Good morning. Welcome back, or welcome to. For those of you that haven't been here before, my name is Jane. This is my Mounjaro journey. As those of you who have seen my previous videos, you'll know that my health was suffering quite a bit prior to starting Mounjaro. I am still on the 2.5 milligram dose. I am 3/4 of the way through my week 16. I just wanted to give you a quick update. I feel absolutely amazing. I haven't felt this good probably in 20 years. My inflammation is gone. My IBS is virtually gone. My sleep apnea is gone. My blood sugar is well within range. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. My fasting insulin numbers are now within normal range. And I do believe that my insulin resistance has started reversing. I don't think I could be happier as far as results go. And in addition, since January 6th, my first shot, I have lost 17 and a half pounds. So since September of last year, I have now lost 27 and a half pounds in total. That includes, obviously, from January 6th to now, the 17 and a half. I have also lost 12 inches. So I am so pleased. And like I said, the weight loss for me is an absolute bonus. But the health benefits that I'm feeling otherwise, I don't think I could have asked for anything better. I don't know about anybody else out there. I watch a lot of the people out there on GLP-1s, some of which I do not agree with, and most of which I do agree with. But I think we can all agree that there is a substantial change in the way you feel, especially for those of you who have autoimmune conditions like myself, blood sugar issues, huge inflammation. There's just so many things that this has helped with. And I don't even know where to begin. My GP is ecstatic. In another month's time, hopefully, I will have new cholesterol numbers. That's the only thing that I'm waiting for to find out the change. Other than that, it's great. Now, for me, I didn't go on this medication for weight loss. I went on for the other health conditions that I have. However, weight loss isn't a linear trip. It's up and down and up and down and up and down. It's frustrating when I step on the scale and I know that it should be going down and it goes up a pound. Ah, man, I get it. Because even though I didn't start off with weight loss as my goal, it has become increasingly important. And so I get it. But I want to know, for any of you out there, if you have IBS, such as myself, if you have noticed a change for the better or for the worse, but for the better mostly, in your system, whether your pain has subsided, whether your flare-ups have decreased. I'm really very interested. When I spoke with my doctor the other month, he was very impressed, and I said to him, because he kind of had, it was me who approached him with respect to trying Mounjaro, because I have so many allergies when it comes to medication that My rheumatologist gives me stuff, I'm allergic to it. I have an infection, I can't take a lot of the antibiotics because I break out in hives. So there's a lot of issues like that. So when I decided that Mounjaro I wanted to try, I took into consideration all of my health issues that I've had, everything, from the kidney disease to the lupus, which has caused my kidney disease, to my blood sugar, to inflammation, to my osteoarthritis, to my IBS, to all of those things. I did a lot of research prior to me making that decision to go on Mounjaro, and I watched a lot of videos. And I would go to the Mayo Clinic and I would read up on stuff. I would read the clinical trials. I went gung ho on information because for me, if I can get away with taking one medication instead of 5 or 6, I would. Right? My doctor wanted to put me on cholesterol medication, wanted me to go on thyroid medication. My rheumatologist wanted me on hydroxychloroquine, which I was allergic to as well. So I wound up coming off of that. So it was after that last one that I really started seriously considering this. The expense up here in Canada for me, even with the discount card, still costs me $311 at my local pharmacy. I looked at doing the online stuff that's really very popular in the States there and in the UK, but I found that the cost was a lot more than what I'm paying right now. So I'll tell you the way I'm doing it, like to try to save money. And this is absolutely not advice. I am not a medical professional in any way, shape, or form. I'm going by a lot of things that I have read. I'm going by efficacy and expiry and all of those things about drugs. I did a search on whether the quick pens have any type of preservatives in them because the druggist told me, no, they don't. They don't have any, so it has to be used in 28 days. Well, that's not true because I did a search and it came up with, yes, there are preservatives in it. It is not approved. From what I understand, FDA or the Canadian government has not approved it for any longer than 28 days, like 4 shots and that's it. But at the expense that it is, and from what I understand, do your own research, please. But from the research that I have done and found for me, is the medication, provided the pen is not out of refrigeration for more than a couple of minutes, the product within the pen should be safe for several months, up until, of course, the expiry. Now, this information I got from the Diabetes Association. I'm not going to tell you which one because I don't want them to get in any trouble at all. But in my mind, if it is safe enough for a diabetes doctor to mention it, then I am certainly okay with it. So this is what I do. Because the pens, the 2.5 milligram pen and the 5 milligram pen in Canada at my drugstore is the same price, I decided to have my doctor give me the 5 milligram pen with his blessing, by the way. As he said, it is off-label, but lots of people do it. So I get the 5 milligram pen, and that allows me to take my 2.5 milligram dose 8 times instead. Now, I know that down in the States, they just came up with the quick pen, and they say, oh, well, it doesn't work after 4. It doesn't work after 4 if you're using full doses. But if you're only doing half doses, each pen will go for 240 clicks. So if I'm doing half of the dose of a half of a 5 milligram dose, that's 30 clicks. So I will be able to get 8 uses out of that pen without a problem. Now, I still have a couple of pens that I still have the golden dose in it. The golden dose at this milligram amount will get me 2 extra doses. So that'll get me 10 doses in the month. Now, the 2 extra doses will not work by click. I have to draw that out by syringe. So that's what I do. It has worked well. I do not find any issue with efficacy. So I still have the same effects as I did before. I'm very lucky that I can stay and remain on the 2.5. And once all of my numbers are within range, I certainly plan on microdosing. And microdosing is going even less than what a prescribed amount would be. Now, if you're thinking about doing what I'm doing, I will caution you that I do not think, in my opinion again, it is a good idea for you to get, say, a 15 milligram pen and utilize that the way I'm using it. Because then you, in my mind, are pushing your luck. And if I get a pen that is only a few months out of expiration, I probably wouldn't do what I'm doing. But if it's a year or a year and a half out from the date that I'm taking the medication, then I have no problems. And I take a lot of extra precautions. So this is what I do. The day of my shot, I take out my pen. I get all of my stuff ready. I get my needle. I get my alcohol swab. I get them ready to be implemented. I take it out of the fridge, and I'll back up a little bit here. When I store it in the refrigerator, I store it inside a pen case, plus inside, and that inside a Ziploc bag to avoid any contamination that could possibly be in my refrigerator. Okay, so that's the way I store it in the refrigerator. When on-shot day comes around, I take it out after I've gotten everything ready per hand. I take it out, I wipe as you should with the alcohol swab, put the pen on, do the priming, inject, Bob's your uncle. Then I remove the needle. Then I take a fresh alcohol swab. I swab it again. Then I put it back in the pen case, the cap on in the pen case, in the Ziploc bag, and in the refrigerator. And the time that it's out of the refrigerator is less than 2 minutes. So it has never had a chance to warm up at all. Now, some of you say that you let it warm up so that you, like with the individual vials, I should say, or the individual pens that you guys have down in the States. You let it warm up so it doesn't sting. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. I have never, ever had it sting. So I'm thankful for that. But even if I did have a sting, I would still do it the way I'm doing it. Basically, that 311 then is spread out over 2 months instead of 1 month. So that's the way I do it. And I take special note of the color. If it's even slightly off color, it goes away. I don't even try. So I do take a lot of precautions. So there's that. And I know a lot of you out there, nope. It says 28 days. On the box, it does not say you have to throw it out if it's used, but kept in the refrigerator consistently. It says you may keep it out of the refrigerator, But if you do that, you cannot put it back in the fridge. Once it's warmed up, that's it. It starts to degrade. You have to keep it consistent from beginning to end. So if you're going to keep it cool, then you keep it cool right from the beginning. You don't take it out and let it sit for half an hour while it warms up and then put it back, because that's the medication, like I said, just starts to degrade from that point. That's the way I do it. I'm not suggesting anybody do it the way I do it. I just, it's helping me so incredibly much. And if I wasn't able to do that, I would not be able to have done this to help my body get in better health and feel better. So that's my main focus. And again, like for those of 4 pounds a week, 3 pounds a week, and then they fret when they're only getting a pound. Well, geez Louise, I wish I could get a whole pound every single week, Anyways, this was only supposed to be a quick 5-minute video, but I kind of let it go a little bit too long. And that's where we are. Have a good day. I'll check in with you probably after the idiot's finished all that hammering, probably in a couple of months. He'll probably still be fucking doing it. Anyways, bye-bye.